So IGN exclusively dropped 4 brand new gameplay videos in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, and this is the first time we're really getting to see the game in action. Here's my analysis of all 4 videos right now. Hey beautiful human, RidersDX here, and welcome to my channel where today we're going to be talking about some really exciting stuff, and that is the very first gameplay footage of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Now, I've been really looking forward to this because, you know, the game's been looking really hype and such. Obviously, like, the trailers have really done the game justice, but haven't actually seen the game in full on motion yet, and so I was a little bit reserved about whether the game was actually going to be really good or if the trailers were just really hyping us up. But now this has really let my fears get put to rest, basically, because now we've got actual footage of the game. And so we've got 4 different gameplay videos, and I thought I would do a classic RidersDX video where we go ahead, dive into the videos and talk about some details that we noticed in it. And so I have 18 total details to point out here throughout all 4 videos, and so sit back with me as we kind of just swiftly get through all the bullet points. So the first gameplay video we're going to look at is the one that takes place in Air Temple with a 4-player match. The number one thing I noticed, and this is a bit of a negative, so I hate to start off on a bad note, but there is clearly no voice acting to be present here. And so we basically knew this was going to happen. I mean, none of the gameplay trailers had shown any signs of voice acting whatsoever, but to see it in action and just not hear those iconic lines from the characters is still really disappointing and makes this game feel a little more generic than it could have. And so I don't know, I'm not sure what Nickelodeon's problem is, but I hope that they see that this game is a success, and maybe they can patch in some voice notes in the future, or maybe we can get a sequel with some actual voice lines put in them. I don't know, but it does not look like this game will be having voice acting when it does come out this fall. And number 2, throughout all 4 gameplay videos, this game runs at a solid 60 FPS. I'm not sure what console this is on, but that's very promising, so we could probably at least expect that on the PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, and maybe even Xbox One and PS4. If we can get that on the Switch too, that'd be awesome, but I won't be surprised if it doesn't hit down to Switch. And number 3, so just so y'all know, I'm not going to really try to dive too much into the gameplay things I'm seeing here because, one, I'm not a big Smash guy, and so I'm not going to be able to really explain a lot of things going on here, but also we got a full-on gameplay breakdown video at the end of the video, and so I'll go ahead and talk about some gameplay elements there. But at number 3, I saw Appa flying around the level here, and that just makes me really happy and my heart really warm because I love Appa, and I was pretty sure he wasn't going to be a playable character, but it's nice to see him make a cameo here. And number 4, I noticed that when the character fell, you immediately get thrown back into the action instead of being brought back on a platform like you do in Smash Brothers. You do still have an invincibility frame when you come back, but I thought that was interesting because that was always something I would do in Smash Brothers, is just kind of wait a little bit until it was a good time to come down because I sucked at the game. So I won't be able to do that here, unfortunately. And number 5, you look to the bottom right of this level here, you can see this little giant gathering area, which was a common location where the Avatar game would get together to discuss many things in the show. I think this is the area where Zuko introduced himself to the gang, you know, after he basically became good, and so this is a pretty iconic location. I'm glad to see that make an appearance here. And number 6, I just thought this is cute. You can see Aang's flying staff resting comfortably on the stage here. I'm hoping that he does get to use it though once we see gameplay of him, which we will, because it's already been confirmed that Aang's gonna be in the game thanks to that leaked box art, if y'all didn't catch that, and so that's going to be really cool to see. We're gonna move on to the next gameplay footage where we got this one-on-one match between April and Nigel Thornberry. And so at number 7, you can see that Gary is just perched on the bottom over here. I kind of like his art style. He's got kind of a cell shaded kind of art style going here, which is really cool and definitely fits the Spongebob brand. So yeah, I'm really liking how this level's looking. And number 8, I also spotted King Jellyfish here, and he honestly looks like he was ripped straight out of Rehydrated, which is interesting because just about everything else in this level looks stylistically different from the jellyfish fields that we saw in Rehydrated, but I swear, he looks exactly like he did in Rehydrated. Maybe more so closer to the concept art that we saw for Rehydrate rather than the actual game, but still pretty close. And number 9, we also got to see an appearance of Queen Jellyfish, which is a direct reference to that one episode where Kevin and his gang were piloting a fake one, and so that's pretty cool to see them reference that over here. At number 10, moving on to the next gameplay video where it's still Jellyfish Fields, but now we got a match between Cat Dog and Lucy Loud. And Lucy Loud, when she enters a level, she rises from a coffin. I think that's the best entrance I've ever seen in a fighting game. Like, I can tell she's going to be a really fun character to play. At number 11, I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that the gameplay here looks so slick and so smooth. Like, judging from these 3 clips, it looks really fluid, fast-paced, just like actual Smash Brothers, and it's just really promising. Like, I'm really impressed by the gameplay footage we're seeing here, and I was even more impressed after I got done with the gameplay breakdown video, which we're going to go into next. So in this video, we got to see Spongebob and Patrick explore a little bit as a narrator explains all the different mechanics with the game. There are some interesting things here that I'm not sure if these are like Smash Bros. Staples or not, but it definitely intrigued my mind when I heard them and saw them, and so I'm just going to kind of point them out over here. At number 12, each character has a light, strong, and special attack, and there's different variations of them on the ground and in the air in other ways as well. And so that's definitely going to add a lot of diversity in terms of how you approach the attacks and such, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing how each character plays out. At number 13, there's also a growing mechanic here, and I just wanted to say that SpongeBob looks so damn goofy holding Patrick like that, as we know that would never happen on the actual show, but you're also able to grab players in the air, which is really interesting. Number 14, they spent a little time talking about the guarding ability. So when you're guarding, players can still attack you, but they'll just be pushing you in a certain direction. And depending on how you time your guards, if you block an attack at the right moment, you might get a perfect guard. And in that instance, you're able to not only guard, but you're also able to attack immediately afterwards. And so there's definitely a lot of strategy that can be employed here in terms of like how you time your attacks and such. And that's just classic Smash Bros. Gameplay. And number 15, I thought this was really interesting, but you can actually hit projectiles right back towards players. And the more that you keep hitting projectiles back between each other, the more powerful they will become. You can even grab projectiles. Like, I don't know, man, this game is just wild. There's just so much you could do here, and it looks really promising. And number 16, you can hold the left trigger in most games to enter a strafing mode, which makes the character incapable of turning around when moving. Not strafing seems to give you more range in terms of your attacks, but strafing makes your attacks not compromised. Like I said, I was never a good Smash player, so this honestly feels like I'm trying to understand what's going on in the class, but in a good way. It's definitely something I'm looking forward to really diving into more once I play the game. Number 17, they showed us like the dashing move, and so you can dash on the ground, you can dash in the air. If you use a downwards air dash and then you wave land, then that allows you to actually wave dash on the ground. So I know this is a really exciting addition for a lot of like Smash players. Like, I think it was something that you could do in Melee, but they took out in future games afterwards, so it looks like a really cool move and something that could really get you to win in a lot of these matches if you know how to use it properly. The last bullet point here at number 18, I just wanted to say that we got to see SpongeBob and Patrick's taunts, and so I guess if they couldn't get the voice clip, at least they got like a chicken sound effect for SpongeBob, and so it's still sort of fixed, but I don't know, it's no voice acting is still a bummer, but at least we're gonna get some really cool taunts. And that's about everything I had to say about these 4 gameplay clips. Honestly, the game looks really solid, and I'm really excited for it. They haven't actually confirmed release date, I realized, and I was just kind of sitting here assuming that it was October 5th because that was the release date that was leaked back when I saw the listing, but they still haven't confirmed it, and so I wonder if the game's going to come out a little bit later. We'll just have to see, but it does look really promising. The game looks great. It's really getting to great shape, and I'm just like, yeah, this is going to be a really good year for SpongeBob and Nickelodeon games. Like, especially if THQ Nordic announces something on the 17th, then it's just going to be a great year for games in terms of SpongeBob and the Nickelodeon licenses. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is there anything that you saw in these 4 clips that I didn't point out? Then let me know what you saw in the comment section below, because like I said, I'm not a huge Smash guy, and so there's definitely a lot of stuff that I most likely missed. But you know what? Thank you all so much. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content on Nickelodeon All Star Brawl in the future. I'm definitely dedicated to covering the game more up to its release. Like, it's just really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this game turns out. But alright y'all, this is Riders, riding out. Thank you so much for watching this video. Special shout out to my patrons, Team Rattle Sign Gamer, Johnny Hinton Ortiz, Trash Q, Claw84. These are my patrons / YouTube members. If you'd like to become a patron or YouTube member and get access to a whole bunch of different perks, then please check out the links in the description box below. But alright, this is Riders, riding out.